Porn is destroying your mind and your masculinity. And I think you already know about this. But many people will never explain to you why porn is so fucking dangerous. I'm M. Singh, your mindset masculinity coach, and I will help you to become the best version of yourself if you want to. I'm also your brother if you want to. Yes, I sell a course. Yes, I have a community. And yes, we can also have a free call where we talk about your problems. Don't be ashamed. Just talk to me. You know, I'm a beginner right now. I'm not that famous. I will become. So use the chance right now, because in 10 years you will say, why didn't I talk to him? I was too arrogant. I thought I was better, but you're not. Because you can only be better if you're willing to change, if you're willing to be open. If I see someone, even though they are not better than me, or even if they're not more attractive, even if they're not stronger, even if they're not richer, if they want to talk, I will talk to them because they got a different worldview and I can learn something. So always be open to talk to any type of people. I'll talk to any type of people. I love to learn from other people, and I think that's the most important thing in this life. But let's get right into this video. I will explain to you why porn will destroy you. With the addiction cycle, I also made a bigger and longer video about the addiction cycle and how you can break out of the cycle. But I will explain to you right now why porn is so dangerous. What is pornography? You're looking at half-naked woman or full-naked woman, and you see another man with a bigger pee-pee fucking a woman that you can never talk to in this life. That's the reality of what you're doing right now. I hope you only look at these type of videos, but if you're too much into pornography, you will watch more and more disgusting things because you don't get a real dopamine kick anymore. That's to the point. Porn will give you a fake dopamine hit, and that's the most dangerous thing in this life. Because we as a man, we search for dopamine. We search for dopamine in real situations, or we should do it, like hunting. What is hunting nowadays? Before you eat, you're going to the gym, you're going for a walk, going for a little run, you can spar, you can do something with your life, you can also build a business or read a book. That's real dopamine because you feel very proud after that. But with that fake dopamine, you have no drive and no purpose anymore. Because how do you feel after you jerk off? I'm not even explaining to you what is porn. I will explain to you why porn is so dangerous. So how do you feel after you jerked off? Like a little bitch. You have no drive anymore, no purpose. You feel like you're losing something, right? You're losing your energy right there. You're losing something that is producing kids. And you're jerking it off to your bed sheet. So you will feel like a little bitch after that shit. Guilt and shame. Every man afterwards feel like a little bitch. And you have to think about it. If you're already in a state that you can jerk off, after you jerk off, you're lost. But 80% of the men are jerking off, and after that you feel like a little bitch. Everybody was in a situation like you have some shame, and you feel like, oh, I think that shit that I'm doing right now is wrong. You feel disgust, not only over yourself but also of the video you're watching. And after that you realize, shit, the shit that I'm doing right there is gay. It's very shameful. So you feel like a little bitch afterwards, and you will repeat that. Why do you repeat that? Because you need that dopamine hit again. You will always feel like you're in your comfort zone when you do that. Always analyze why you're doing that shit. That is very important. So the best tip I can give you is that you analyze when you're jerking off. Because many people do when they're stressed, when they need some, when they need to relax, when they're too stressed, when their day is too full, or anything like that. You have to analyze the situation because that's the only way you can break out of that shit. Analyze when I feel stressed, when I jerk off, why do I do it? It's very important to understand that because only then you can break out of that shit. The most important point you have to understand with dopamine, porn, and all of that stuff, and why it is so dangerous, is because even if you're not real to yourself, and even if you're not that ashamed anymore, subconsciously something happens, and that is very important because many people are already in that. You know what? I can jerk off. Many people lying to themselves, comment under my videos and say, yeah, jerking off is not that dangerous. But subconsciously, you feel like a little bitch because you know when you walk around that street, you know you jerk off. You're in your little bed sheets. You're on your sofa, jerking off on a woman, seeing another man fucking a woman you can never talk to. And that is shameful. You cannot talk that out. You cannot talk about that shit like it is a good thing. You're wasting your energy because you can't fuck a real woman. And that's the reality. Be true to yourself. Many people come at me with, I want to be a virgin. Okay, then stop jerking off. And if you want to have sex, go out and get you a woman. Marry a woman right now. What you're waiting for? Because you're broke? But you're not changing this because you jerk off. Like, do not lie to yourself. Subconsciously, you will always lose self-respect and confidence. Confidence comes from capabilities, and you know that you're jerking off. It's not a good capability or anything like that. You feel like a little bitch. But that's why it is so dangerous. Hope you understood in this short video why porn is so dangerous, why fake dopamine will give you weakness, and why you still will repeat that shit if you're not changing it and if you're not understanding it. I think that's the most important thing with everything. Weed, party, alcohol, distractions. I can tell you that shit is bad. I can sit here and say, stop doing that. But if you do not understand it yourself, and if you do not understand why you should change, you will never change. Understand it, analyze it, understand yourself. Why am I always going back to that bitch? Why am I always going back to weed? Why am I always going back to the bad friends? Comfort zone, you feel good. Every other thing is very hard, dangerous, pain. But if you understand that you need that, you need to go to the gym, you need to make 10 push-ups, then you will be very proud of yourself, and that's what you want to achieve. I hope you understood what I wanted to say in this video. Become the best version of yourself and be better every fucking day.